My bass pops bang bang, young rebel QE, double ones, the ISO's kinda bluey. I make movies, young Spielberg, scoop groupies. Hey mom, tryna kill, but I ain't Stewie. I'm too Gucci, 2G, 2 me, sleeping on me. You gon' need some new dreams. Yeah, I caught the new 3.
My name is Rachel. We are back with Raz Fresco. What is going on?
Peace. I'm here in Philly, you know, just chilling.
Yeah.
Just in a sound check and Kill the Show, Theater, Living Arts. Before the Money Tour, you know.
Yeah. So how's that feel to be on that tour? I mean, you're so fucking young, and you got started so early. Like, what's this been like for you this last year in particular?
This year has been the past year has been really about growing relationships and you know getting a real foundation firm for this next project that we're putting out. You know, making sure we have a strong base of operation to move in the U.S. A nice partner. You know, the Duck Down partnership with the label I started with my manager Soze and stuff. You know, so that was a good move and getting everything together for this project. You know, getting all the pieces together. So.
Are you talking about Pablo Fresco?
Yeah, exactly. So that's yeah, you know. So
you got something else in the works.
No, that's the main thing right now. And if I did, I probably wouldn't tell you. You know.
Oh shit!
So,
all right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's some classified.
So you've got a ton of mixtapes out. Like, what's making you want to take this next step to, like, you know, put out an album?
Again, just for that exact reason. I got a ton of mixtapes out, you know, so I want to do this on a bigger level now, because it's like, I've given the people a lot of, like, dope music and all that, but at the end of the day, you always want to, your art to get out there on a bigger level and get more exposure so more people can see it, and, you know, you can just, I can be in front of more crowds and all that, so, you know, it's just about taking the steps to get to a bigger level with it, you know. Do everything I was doing before better on a bigger level, you know.
Money coming back in a while, like your girl when her friend introduced me. She be choosing like character select, and you should be embarrassed to be embarrassed with that whack. Pull them egg griffies out the box, triple black. Keep some bunnies with me, yeah. I can pull it.
So like a common criticism of younger artists is oftentimes, you know, their content, like they're so young, their life experience. You really don't seem to have that though. You got a really mature style considering your age. Where do you really draw your inspiration from?
I like to listen, you know. If you're observative and stuff, there's a lot of lessons you can learn from a lot of people that are older than you that you might not have to, per se, like go through the exact same way, you know. So there's a lot of lessons that I had from people that are around me. I was able to just really soak in and take in. Whereas, like, you know, it gives you a step, it makes you a step ahead. You know, if you really peep the wisdom of the OGs, you know what I'm saying, and the elder people, you know, even all those little sayings that your parents tell you when you come up, you really listen to those, like, you can really, like, stay clear of a lot of bullshit, like, you know, like, show me your friends, I'll tell you who you are, you know, all these little things that we hear growing up. So really, you know, if you're just aware to a certain degree, and you're just soaking everything up as you're coming up, that's what's gonna give you that edge to go ahead and, like, you know, just that's where the maturity sounds to me, you know, because you can hear that, you hear kind of the experience, because someone who's learned from the experience of others, plus mixed with their experience of their own, you know.
That's awesome that you're willing to learn through others' experience. Not a lot of people, even my age, I'm old as shit. Not a lot of people do that.
Pull a hat trick, yeah, that's a Mac. Show you how to do it one time. I'll show you the ropes. I'll 619, yeah. That means I kick it to ya.
You know, as far as this Duck Down thing, I mean, you know, two of my favorite albums, we have Nocturnal and Enter the Stage, and both those albums are older than you, so it's like, you know, there's some, like, really prolific things they put out through history, and you're a part of history, man. Like, what was that like when they're like, what's up, you know?
Again, it's just humbling, because, you know, like, at the end of the day, that's what you do it for. You do it to leave a mark on the culture and try to, do your thing and just raise the culture to a certain level or degree, you know, with every MC that comes, you know, if you do the knowledge of the history, like Rakim, because he did his thing to a certain level, that made people like Nas and all these people want to come up after him or whatever, so that's what I want to do, you know, I want to do my thing so ill and just inspire people to just do it even better than me, because that's the whole point, so people can add on, you know, so I just want to make it in a way where people can add on to what I'm doing and can keep going upwards.
Wait, yeah, get in my beast mode, so primitive.
So because you're from Canada, and I mean you're no novice like in the scene. You've been doing this a really long time.
A little bit, just getting started.
Yeah.
No.
What are some of the major differences that you see between the hip hop community there versus hip hop community in the States?
I mean, just it's a bigger market down here, so there's more business, there's more opportunities on that side of things because it has a longer history of like things going on and all that. So that definitely affects it as far as trying to get things done and having to really have to leave the country to really get your stuff out there. So that's just something I had to peep really early. Like even starting Baker's Club, I kind of had that idea very early. That's why I made sure to have like people who are from other places, like, like Chill Will from Tacoma, Washington, and Lothar from Little Rock, Arkansas. Cause, when you're in the Toronto scene and stuff, you can't get trapped in the scene. Any scene really, any scene that you're in, you can't get trapped in the scene. So you gotta be able to expand out and but at the same time, hold your foot down at the home base too. So just I try to balance out the two. Just not get trapped in the scene, but at the same time, you still gotta play the scene.
That's cool.
And this might be the freshest you ever heard. And this might be the freshest you ever heard. And this might be the freshest you ever heard. And this might be the freshest you ever heard.
Tell us a little bit more about what you're doing with Baker's Club.
Alright, well, Chill Will just dropped on the Almighty LP October 31st. My homie 6 Letter is chilling right here in the
He's
cut.
right here, what's up?
He just dropped another playlist. It got High Music. April 20th. There's a dope video, Chain Smoking out for that. And we're just building and just pushing the projects out, and just trying to keep pushing the music out and do everything on a bigger level, So with Almighty that Chill Will just dropped, he came back off of Cold Chillin' too, and he's just doing things on a bigger level and stuff, just getting more videos out there and just making trips to New York and stuff. So we're all just trying to expand our network and just grow and
you're doing it. You're not trying. You're really doing it.
But at the end of the day, it's not given to you, so you still have to put in that effort. So that's what I mean by try. Just putting in the effort.
Yeah.
Word. 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 Yo.
Now, do you have any words of advice you'd like to share? Either older, younger, any kid who's like really working to get in your position. Any advice you'd like to share?
It's like I was saying earlier when you're mentioning the fact you hear certain things in my music. It's because you really just have to peep game and stuff. Like there's if you look at different situations that have occurred in hip hop and all these type of things, you'll learn certain things that go on in the industry and certain things to protect yourself from and just to maintain your security as an artist and stuff. So you always want to be you always want to try to stay two steps ahead.
Yeah.
And to do that, you have to actually sit down and really look and observe and see what's going on, so you don't get lost in the sauce. Because stuff switches up. People who weren't ready for the internet, they got lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to be able to peep what's going on and move accordingly. And always be aware.
Chill, get this poppin', no locking in these 8s, I'm the man, dog. So aqua, how I'm swimming in your chick amphibian and heard a rap, so she let it hit like a sack. Now she playing QB, laying on the back.
Shout out Baker's Club, you know what I'm saying? Shout out everybody I did interviews with in Philly today, you know what I'm saying? Everything is just beautiful. I'm loving the love out here, you know what I'm saying? The city of brotherly love, that's what they call it. So
That's where you found that.
You know what I mean? It's showing to be very real. Yeah, man. Everything's peace, Shout out Baker's Club, Toronto, and shout out Joey Badass Pro Era, you know what I'm saying? Before the Money Tour, it's gonna be crazy. You know what I'm saying? The Boston show is crazy, Toronto show is crazy, I'm sure all the other shows are crazy.
Right.
There's another crazy one to add to the list.
Excellent.
In my Adidas, summertime wife beater. Like the reefer, we looking over the city like the reaper. The city, yeah, the schemers, screw-faced demons and dreamers. They see me, they like walk one with that feature. Yo, we ain't here, you alopecia. My flow's heat seekers, pimping how we scoring goals on your keepers. I was told always be a leader. We used to rob corner stores, now we trying to rob museums, take their artifacts, fill your cardiac, they hard lax, spineless, the guard timeless, no almanac. We rock fellas like Sean Carter Cat, they ways devilish, I ain't taking no part in that, so pardon that. Hey yo, listen, I say you cats is weak, I'm well aware when the wolf cries sheep. They like the snakes in the garden with Eve, we like the lion on the rosters with green, so who iller than the team? You know what I mean? Baker's Club.
Return of the Mac in the whip. Chill got kicks and I shuffle through those like an iPod. Hold up. Can't see me no Ray-Bans,
on your chick like a spray tan. Swear I'm they